The ceasefire was announced, but within hours, missiles were already flying again. That's the situation between the United States and Iran right now. A 2-week truce is in place, meant to stop a fast-escalating war. But attacks have already hit Kuwait and the United Arab Emirates, both close U.S. allies. At the same time, ships have just started moving again through the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important oil routes in the world. This narrow stretch of water carries about 1/5 of global oil supply. When Iran closed it earlier, energy prices surged across the world. Now it is temporarily reopened, but only for 2 weeks. Both sides are calling this a victory. The US says its strikes weakened Iran's military and nuclear capability. Iran says it forced the US into a ceasefire and proved it can disrupt global trade. But here's where it gets complicated. Iran wants sanctions lifted, wants control over Hormuz, and insists on continuing uranium enrichment. The US rejects all three. That means the core issues that started the conflict are still unresolved. Vice President J.D. Vance described the truce as fragile. That's not just a warning. It's a signal that this deal could collapse at any moment. Here's the part many people may not be thinking about. Even during a ceasefire, Iran continued strikes on Gulf states. That suggests the conflict is no longer just US versus Iran. It is spreading across the region, involving multiple countries and proxy groups. Israel is also continuing operations in Lebanon, which is not covered by the ceasefire. So even if Washington and Tehran pause, the wider conflict does not stop. This creates a dangerous situation, because any single incident could pull everything back into full war. Now let's talk about why this matters. If Hormuz closes again, oil prices could spike overnight. That affects fuel costs, transport, electricity, and everyday living expenses globally. Even in Singapore, higher oil prices quickly translate into higher costs. Markets reacted immediately. Oil prices dropped sharply after the ceasefire. Stocks rose as investors hoped for stability. But those gains are fragile too, because investors know this deal is not solid. Here's the deeper insight. This is no longer just a military conflict. It is a negotiation over control, influence, and economic pressure. Iran is using geography and energy routes as leverage. The US is using military pressure and sanctions. Both sides are testing how far they can push, without triggering full-scale war. And this is not the first time we've seen this pattern. Short-term truces. Immediate violations. Talks that stall over the same core demands. It shows a cycle that keeps repeating, without a lasting solution. So here's the question. If both sides are already testing the limits of this ceasefire, do you think this truce can realistically hold for 2 weeks? Or is this just a pause before something bigger? Like, share and subscribe to 2230.